Strap in for the world's fastest half hour. You're on the Straight Line, presented by O'Reilly Auto Parts. And brought to you by Hercules Tires and Grunt Style Apparel. Now, here are your hosts, Robbie Mays and Doug Herbert.
Welcome, everybody, to another edition of The Straight Line, presented by O'Reilly Auto Parts here on MRN.com. I'm Robbie May, sitting in for Marty Huff this week. To my left, Doug Herbert. How you doing, Doug?
Doing great. Happy to be here. And
yeah,
they had some good racing going on over there in Phoenix, some fast times, and a little bit more, dilemma for the Force family. But they also get the car in the winner's circle, so heck of a weekend for them.
It's an up and down weekend. It always is. I feel like every time the Forces go to the racetrack, it's like they have great things happen, they have some bad things happen. 4 cars, it's like they need some consistency this year. At least Courtney got on the in the winner's circle this weekend. Well,
absolutely. I think that was a great win for Courtney and that Advanced Auto Parts team. John Force with the big crash,
right?
Brittany with the crash last week. I think, I think that it looked like to me, just from looking at numbers, that it. She's not back to championship form right now. So hopefully that won't take too long. I mean, her name is Force, so I don't expect that it will take too long. But John Force crash, I don't know. I watched it a couple times, and it looked like, man, he obviously had no control of the car or right. Couldn't see or something. I mean, it was just, that's terrible. Obviously, Force has been in quite a few things like that, and I've without those results, that's for sure.
Here's the video up on the screen right there. Everything looks fine until they get to basically to the finish line, and car goes up in flames. Everything, the body comes off, and got involved there with, I believe it's Johnny Lindbergh. But just a terrible looking crash for John Force. The good news is he was released from the hospital. There's another look at it there from down at the end of the track, but he was released from the hospital on Sunday night. Obviously, he's going to be a little sore for a couple of days after that. I mean, he's 64 years old, so I mean, anytime you go through something like that,
he's no spring chicken. There the cars looks like it spun the tires down there, dropped a couple cylinders, put the cylinders out, and then kaboom! The volume of fuel that are going into these engines is incredible, probably close to 2 gallons per second at that point down there on the track. And when they drop cylinders, it just tends to hydraulic the engine. It just jacks the heads off, and boom.
In that situation in the cockpit as a driver, what's your first reaction when you see something like that happening?
Let's get this thing slowed down.
Yeah.
I'm guessing by looking at that, though, it looked like as soon as the body came off, the car took a turn. So I'm guessing when the body came off, it probably caught some steering component or whatever. And, Force obviously didn't drive it over in the other lane on purpose. I think something went wrong.
Yeah.
But, man, I'll tell you what, you think, what happened to poor old Johnny Lindbergh? He was doing nothing wrong at all. He's going right down the track, and all of a sudden his car gets smashed. I'm sure Jim Head is not happy about that, but what do you do? I mean, that's racing. I don't know. In a situation like that, there's no insurance on these cars, so that's an expensive deal, though.
Yeah. Courtney Force will join us here on Straight Line in just a few minutes. We'll ask her about her win, breaking a long winless streak, if that wasn't the big enough news. Also asking her about John Force, her dad, how he's been doing the last couple of days. Also, Steve Torrance, who won in the Top Fuel division at Wild Horse Pass Motorsports Park on Sunday afternoon. He will join us later on in the show today. I mentioned Marty Huff is out this week. He was on vacation in Thailand this week. Just a planned trip for him. He occasionally will travel the world. I envy him sometimes when he gets to go on these trips. Bad news for Marty, though, this week. Unfortunately, his mother, Betty, passed away earlier this week. Just a tough situation for him right there. But Marty, from everyone here at MRN, your entire family here, we're thinking about you and your family right now. Hang in there, and we'll see you when you get back. Coming up after this break, Courtney Force, winner at Phoenix on Sunday afternoon, will join us here on the Straight Line.
Things happen fast in racing, and if you don't know where to look, you can miss it all. With Legend from Racing Electronics, you'll never miss another moment. Legend gives you live fan vision video, in-car cameras, and stats at premier National Series events, and the next generation race scanner for unfiltered driver and crew audio at any motorsports event nationwide. Race fans have never been closer to the action. Welcome to the future of the fan experience. Learn more by visiting racingelectronics.com.
O'Reilly. Restore your vehicle's lost power by cleaning your entire fuel system with Chevron Techron Fuel System Cleaner. Right now, buy one bottle and get one free at O'Reilly Auto Parts, plus get double O Rewards points on your purchase. Keep your engine clean with Chevron Techron Fuel System Cleaner at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day. Limits apply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Mayhem, a state of havoc, pandemonium, bedlam, or madness.
He and Keselowski tangle. Kurt Busch slams the inside wall.
Then he goes up the racetrack, and here comes Kyle Busch.
Kyle Busch, oh, Elliott spin!
Mayhem, what happens at Martinsville. Tickets are on sale now for the STP 500 Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series race on March 25th. Call 877-RACE-TICKS or visit martinsvillespeedway.com to purchase yours. Martinsville Speedway, the half mile of mayhem.
You're staged and ready for another run on the straight line. Brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Welcome back to the Straight Line here on MRN.com. As always, we're presented by O'Reilly Auto Parts. I'm Robbie Mays. Doug Herbert sitting to my left right here. Sorry about that. I get the microphone on my shirt here. Let's go to the Racing Electronics Hotline. Bring in the driver of the Advanced Auto Parts Chevy Camaro SS for John Force Racing, and the driver who ended a very long losing streak on Sunday at Phoenix, Courtney Force. Courtney, welcome back to the Straight Line.
Hi, yeah, thanks for having me on.
So Sunday afternoon, a big emotional day for you. You know, it's been since Houston in 2016, so it had been over a year since you were in Winner's Circle, but you got it. You got the win on Sunday afternoon. Congratulations.
Thank you. I know it's been a little bit of a roller coaster. It's kind of crazy to think it's been that long, I guess, since we've picked up a win. Because actually, we came off our career best season last year, finishing third in points overall. So it seems a little crazy, but we had a lot of number one qualifier hats, a lot of final round appearances. But it feels good to get the job done and end up in the winner's circle at the end of the weekend over in Phoenix. I mean, we had a great race for all weekend long with, Karate and Hood tuning it. And, it felt really good to be able to be back in the winner's circle with a yellow hat on and being able to celebrate that win.
Courtney, with a little bit of time in between that last win, it seems like Brian Karate came over there, as you said, you had a great year really last year. You just didn't win any races. Now, all of a sudden, the second race with Karate over there helping, your guys right in the winner's circle. And wow, what really changed? What was he able to bring over that helped you win? Just coincidence?
Yeah, I mean, well, I think with him bringing, his information and mindset over and working with Danny, they've been they've done so great together. I mean, they've known each other for years. They used to work together on Mike Ashley's funny car team years back. And then he moved over to, Top Fuel Dragster, and now he's back in a funny car. So we thought it would take a little bit of an adjustment. And, we struggled a little bit at Pomona, trying to find a little bit of consistency. But, it's pretty impressive what those two have done together, and really excited to be driving for them. I don't know if anyone thought we were just going to go pull off a win with, new car, new crew chief, and everything the second race out, but it's really excited that we were able to get that job done for Advanced Auto Parts and for all of our sponsors. So we were thrilled. It's been great being able to work with Karate because he obviously does put a little bit of something different into this team, and and he's always so positive, and it's really great to be able to drive for him and work with him, and it turned out to be a pretty good weekend.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, you ran the table over there in Arizona. Loyalty, top speed, track record on both ends, won the race on Sunday. You didn't leave anything for anybody.
Yeah, well, I know it was a good weekend. I mean, like you said, we had number one qualifier hat. We had some great runs down the racetrack, but the track records, but we actually hadn't made a pass down in the left lane, and that's the lane we actually got stuck in the final round. So I was a little bit nervous. We try to obviously correct it and get the job done and get the car running down there, and Karate and Hood did just that to make us run a smooth pass and our quickest pass of the weekend, when we needed it most, and that was in the final round.
Yeah.
Courtney, obviously you're off to a great start this year, getting the win this past weekend. But John Force Racing, probably since the end of the season last year, I mean, you guys you swept the Nitro Championships last year with your sister Brittany and Robert Height went in funny car. What's it been like at John Force Racing during the offseason? Obviously, you guys, I would imagine you guys were pretty, excited and energetic that you might be able to do the same thing again here in 2018.
Yeah, we were. I mean, it was, like you said, a great season. Robert and his Auto Club car taking home the championship in funny car. Brittany taking it home in top fuel with her Monster Energy team. It was a great end to the 2017 season, but honestly, I almost feel bad for them. I feel like there's no time to celebrate. It goes right back into, media and interviews and just getting the cars and the teams back and ready for the 2018 season so we can go out here and hopefully do it all over again. I think, that's the goal for everybody. And I think, especially now with my team and my dad's team, I mean, we're all really hoping that we can have the cars out there that are really competitive. And, I'm hoping to get that championship this year too. So it was a great off season. Really proud of them for what they've accomplished. Because to be completely honest, I think these categories now are, some of the toughest competition that we have out there. I mean, in funny car and in top fuel, I think every, year after year, it just gets, tougher to win one of these races, and it makes you appreciate it that much more because you got to work really hard, and you got to have a great team and a consistent race car, and you got to be on your game as a driver. So it's impressive what they've accomplished last year, and we're all hoping that we can repeat it again this year.
Well, Courtney, obviously the reason why we're talking to you is because you're the winner over here last weekend, and you ran the table. Part of the big news, though, at Pomona was your sister's bad crash out there, and then your dad second round crash over here in Phoenix. How are they both dealing with this, and is everybody okay and going to be okay for the next race coming up in Gainesville?
Yeah, it's been pretty tough. Honestly, going from Pomona, it was rough. My dad crashed there, and then Brittany, obviously with her huge crash. And they came out of the hospital. They were fine. Brittany took a little bit to recover. I mean, she's beat up pretty good from hers. Has a lot of bruises still, but, was feeling good and was ready to get back in her car at Phoenix. And my dad was as well. And then we go out there, and then it's, I believe, second round in Phoenix, and, my dad's car explodes at the finish line. It's pretty crazy. I'm not, really sure why my dad's car has been, having these problems lately. We're obviously trying to figure it out and fix it. But I mean, on that run, he had holes out, and I think it was just making the car obviously unhappy. But, it's race day, and you kind of leg it down there. And when you have a hole out as a driver, you have to continue to push it and drive it and keep it. And he had it straight in the groove, in the center of the groove. And, it was just unfortunate it happened right in the lights when he was getting shut off. But, these cars are unpredictable, and we know that going into it. Anything can happen when you're trying to wheel down a 330 mile an hour, 10,000 horsepower car, and make it a 4-second run. Sometimes it's not going to be pretty on every run, but the most important thing is that everyone's safe. I'm glad that Johnny Lindbergh's safe as well. But yeah, I think Dad's got beat up and beat around pretty good in that car, but he's been doing good. He's already flown. We're all trying to get him to just kind of calm down and rest a little bit just because he had such a rough weekend, but he's already flown off to, Milwaukee or somewhere this morning to go do an appearance for Peak. So he's already back at it and feeling good.
And watching that explosion, Courtney, it looked, obviously, your dad's been through that times before, and he brings the car to a stop. When that body came off, did it mess up the steering where he wasn't able to drive the car? Is almost what it looked like to me.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know exactly, but I did notice there was a piece of the body that was stuck on the front right tire as well. So I know that's another reason why you can't really steer it anywhere. It was unfortunate. It sent him straight over to the right and into that other lane. And unfortunately, he got caught up with Lindbergh, and then somehow the parachutes were tangled, and from the video I saw, it looked like he was just hanging on for the ride and was pretty much being pulled around by the back of Lindbergh's chassis. So it was a pretty crazy thing, to be completely honest. It reminded me, watching him come down the track and that explosion and everything, it reminded me of his 2007 crash. But the good news is his car didn't pull apart into two pieces, and that's exactly what It shows what we've worked on with the Eric Medlin project and building safer chassis and safer race cars. And, I think the fact that, he was okay after that and Lindbergh was okay as well, I think that really is a testament to what we've been working on over here. And it's a great thing. It makes us feel better getting back into these cars as drivers. But, it's unfortunate that it had to happen. But, it's at least they were both, okay. And that's the most important thing.
Well, Courtney, congratulations on your win in Arizona. Courtney Force, the driver of the Advanced Auto Parts Chevy Camaro, and winner at the latest race in Phoenix, Arizona. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. At least there was that to kind of help lift our spirits up at the end of the weekend. But really excited to be able to be racing at Phoenix with a sold-out crowd. It made it even better. So it was a good end to the weekend.
All right, Courtney. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.
Courtney Force from John Force Racing, the driver of the Advanced Auto Parts Chevy Camaro SS. Trying to get John Force to calm down. That's impossible.
It just doesn't work. Yeah. I don't know how to, 66 years old. He's no spring chicken, but I'll tell you what, that guy loves drag racing more. Well, Connie Coletta maybe about the same, but those guys love drag racing. I mean, they eat, sleep, drink, dream. Everything they do is about, Connie does some other things too, but the love for drag racing is just incredible. So I'm sure it won't be long. John Force will be back out. But then you got to think, like 66 years old, he's no spring chicken. How long is he going to keep doing this for?
Yeah.
He got hurt pretty badly there a few years ago at Texas Motorplex. Kenny Bernstein came over and kind of got into him. And that was really about when Kenny decided, you know what, I'm past my prime here. And I don't know, is Force past his prime? I don't know. Looking at the way he drives the car and his reaction times and all that, I don't know that he really is past his prime. He's doing pretty good, but how long do you keep doing this for? I don't know. That's only for John Force to know.
I will say this: good luck to anybody who tries to get him out of his race car.
Right, exactly.
Let's take another break here on the Straight Line. Coming up, we'll talk to the winner of the Top Fuel division on Sunday at Phoenix. Steve Torrance will join us next.
Citywide to countryside, whatever you drive, wherever you go. Hercules Tires has the value, selection, and industry-leading warranty to get you there, no matter where the road takes you. To learn more, visit HerculesTire.com. Hercules Tires, ride on our strength.
If you do-it-yourselfers are looking for the right tool for the job, stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts Power Torque Tools DIY Day Sale. You'll find a wide selection of Power Torque tools on sale now and guaranteed for life. Power Torque Tools DIY Day Sale going on now at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day. Limit supply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
MRN original programs stream on MRN.com. Check out NASCAR drivers on Motorsports Monday with Woody Kane and Joey Meyer. Sprint car racing on Wing Nation with Steve Post and Aaron Everett. Meet NASCAR team crews on Crew Call with Sammy Joe and Rocco. NASCAR local and regional racing on NASCAR Coast to Coast with Kyle Rickey and Hannah Newhouse. NHRA Talk on The Straight Line with Marty Huff and Doug Herbert. Your home for original motorsports talk. MRN.com.
You're listening to The Straight Line, brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Welcome back to The Straight Line here on a Thursday afternoon on MRN.com. As always, we're presented by O'Reilly Auto Parts. I'm Robbie Mays. Doug Herbert sits to my left. Time for our newest segment in this show. And my show, The Inside Line, we've got a ton of game shows. So I'm glad that we have more elements on these shows now. So Red Light, Green Light is next, presented by O'Reilly Auto Parts. And Doug, I'll let you go first.
Well, I think red light is probably going to have to be the problems that the Force family's been having.
Yeah. Not
only at Pomona, but also this weekend. So, red light's probably going to go out for John Force for crashing his car. Johnny Lindbergh getting involved in that. That's a bad situation. That's definitely got to be our red light for the weekend. And the green light?
The green light is sold out crowd at Phoenix. Okay, the weather was great on Sunday afternoon. If you got to watch it on Fox, obviously it was a great crowd. For me, it's right now the and I'm a relatively new NHRA fan, but for me, the green light has to be the uptick that the NHRA has taken over the last couple of years, especially going over to Fox. I feel like after they went over there, and ESPN did a great job, but once they got on Fox, it seems like everything started moving up. It's like you see these sold-out crowds every weekend. You see people, walking around the pit area, meeting drivers, all this fun stuff. Old, middle-aged, and younger fans also involved in the sport now.
Well, anytime a sold-out crowd at a live event is a great thing. So they had good crowds for NASCAR at Daytona. Sold-out crowd here this weekend in Phoenix. So that's definitely the green light. And happy to see the sport that we love is, has that much popularity. I think I agree, though, with Robbie on the TV. I think the Fox TV thing is definitely give the NHRA a little more priority with the network, where they didn't have that with ESPN. We were always getting bumped off for, Little League or badminton or whatever. It's like, gosh, come on, this is a live event, drag racing, let's cover it. But so, yeah, I think I agree with that 100%. I think Fox has done a good job. And drag racing is prioritized on the channel. So, yeah, good deal. Green light for sure.
We had Pomona. We've been to Phoenix. Up next, the Gator Nationals in Florida, and it seems like it's going. We started out west, and then we're coming back east, and then we go to Vegas. I think in a few weeks after that too.
Yeah, so somebody did look at a map. You know, when they set out that schedule, it used to be Pomona, Phoenix, Houston, Gainesville. You kind of circled around, and now it's like bing, bing, bing. I don't know that I like that much, but somebody smarter than me obviously made that decision, I suppose.
There's the schedule up there on the screen, Gainesville. Then we go back to Vegas, 4 wides at Vegas before a trip to Houston, and then here in Concord, North Carolina for another 4-wide race. But it seems like to me, Doug, the Gator Nationals, and even being a new fan of this sport, it's like to me, that's like one of the biggest races of the year. Obviously, I mean, you've been a part of that for years. What is it that makes going to Gainesville so special?
Well, I think it's looking back on it over the years. Gainesville's always been kind of a special one because of the Florida guys. Big Daddy Don Garlits comes out. He always brought his new car to Gainesville. He never seemed like over the years he took a new car to Pomona. It was usually he waited, debuted his new car at Gainesville because that's like his hometown track. And then Darrell Gwynn. Darrell Gwynn is a Gainesville guy, or a Florida guy. And I think for the people down there in Gainesville is a really popular, I don't know what the seating is, but there's campers there. Like they camp there for a week. It's an event. Like they go to Gainesville and they camp for a week and go to the races, by the way. It's just a fun time for everybody down there in Gainesville. And Gainesville, obviously for anybody that's been there, it's a college town. So it's people that go to the races in Gainesville aren't necessarily from Gainesville. They're going to Gainesville and camping out and hanging out and just, making part of a big event. Really.
If you're a fan of the University of Florida, that would be good stuff for you too.
Right.
It's also the first time this year we're going to see the bikes. The motorcycles are in action for the first time this weekend. So I feel like if you're in that division, you see everybody else go to Pomona and then go to Phoenix, and then it's like you just got to be like itching to get to Gainesville.
Yeah, I think so. I think and I never really understood why the bikes didn't start out running at Pomona, but Gainesville's always been where they've rolled out. So the people that go to the race in Gainesville are really excited about that. All the pro stock racers are excited about that. Most of them go to Gainesville or Bradenton, Florida to test, and so they're ready to to hit the trail when they pull out for Gainesville. So that is a lot of excitement, and Gainesville is like you said, one of the big races. I mean, Pomona, Indy, Gainesville. It used to be Englishtown now, but Pomona, Indy, Gainesville. I mean, those are kind of like the races that have been around for a long time and popular, and ones that everybody really looks forward to going to.
Yeah,
and winning.
Exactly. Taking home one of those trophies right there.
Exactly.
That's what you want to do every time. All right, let's take another break. When we come back, we'll have more here on The Straight Line, presented by O'Reilly Auto Parts here on MRN.com.
If your wiper blades are worn and streaking, stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts and save $8 instantly on a pair of Trico Force wiper blades. Improve visibility and save money with Trico Force wiper blades. Plus, take advantage of O'Reilly Auto Parts' free wiper blade installation. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day. Limits apply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
The Country 500 Music Festival is back at Daytona International Speedway.
How do you like me now?
Hamilton. Dirks Bentley. Sugarland. Billy Currington. And so much more. Country 500 Memorial Day weekend, May 25th, 26th, and 27th. For tickets and information, visit country500.com. Sponsored in part by Budweiser.
Things happen fast in racing, and if you don't know where to look, you can miss it all. With Legend from Racing Electronics, you'll never miss another moment. Legend gives you live fan vision video, in-car cameras, and stats at NASCAR and other Premier Series events. And the next generation race scanner for unfiltered driver and crew audio at any motorsports event nationwide. NASCAR fans have never been closer to the action. Welcome to the future of the fan experience. Learn more by visiting racingelectronics.com.
Welcome back to The Straight Line, brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Welcome back to The Straight Line, presented by O'Reilly Auto Parts. Closing things out here on a Thursday afternoon. I'm Robbie Mays. This is Doug Herbert. We had hoped to get Steve Torrence on the line today. A little mix-up there, so we're going to try to get him on the show next week. But still, though, Doug, he had a great weekend. He won 8 times last year, so him coming out of the box in race number 2 this year, getting the Wally, it's not a surprise.
No, he had an unbelievable year last year. That he was the favorite to win the championship. I don't think there's any doubt about it. And then when they had that crash at Dallas, and it kind of just set him back. Their backup car didn't work the same as their primary car. So that that was definitely a setback to him. But coming out of the box and winning at the second race this year, yeah, that's huge. I think that's a great job. Just testament to Richard Hogan and what he's doing over there, and Bobby Lagana and all the guys that are working on that car. They're doing a great job, and getting that thing in the winner's circle, unbelievable. Right now he's leading the points. Number 2 qualifier over here at Phoenix this weekend. That was pretty good run by Torrence and his team.
And en route to taking out Scott Palmer in the finals, he actually had to beat his dad in E3 on Sunday afternoon, Billy Torrence.
Yeah,
that's got to be something, a little bit of a pride for Steve to be able to beat his dad like that.
Well, go up there and race your dad. That's pretty cool. There's not a lot of father and sons racing top fuels. So I remember Connie Coletta and Scott Coletta racing several times. But I can't really think of a lot of other times that's happened. So yeah, really neat to be able to go up there and pull that off. And it looked like a race to me.
Yeah, Chris McGahey got the win in Pro Stock on Sunday afternoon. All of our guests on the Straight Line have come to you via the Racing Electronics hotline. For 30 years, Racing Electronics has been the #1 choice for racing scanners, headphones, and the popular Fan Vision handheld unit. Check out all our great new products online at racingelectronics.com. A couple weeks before the next national event. But I know Breaks has stuff going on. You're pretty busy every weekend.
We've got stuff going on. Yeah, and those Racing Electronics, they actually help Breaks with all of our radio stuff that we do at the charity. So, yeah, really appreciate those guys over there and what they do, not only for Breaks, but for everybody. Yeah, we're busy with Breaks. We've got Breaks in Raleigh this weekend. Then we come back here. We have Breaks in Carowinds. We've got Breaks out in San Diego for the West Coast. So we've got stuff going on everywhere, and for more information on that, go to the Brakes website, which is pitundtherbrakes.org. If you've got a driving age teenager, you need to go.
Absolutely. They do good work. All right, so thank you to Courtney Force for joining us, and hopefully we'll get Steve Torrence on the line next week to talk about his big win Sunday in Phoenix. For producer Daryl Smith, Jennifer Cochran, RTD, he is Doug Herbert. My name is Robbie Mays. We'll catch you next week right here on The Straight Line.